Hey friends, it's February 8th, 2025. We are completing week 6 of this new year. And as I have done in the previous weeks, we are creating these field notes to kind of capture what I've been learning throughout the week and just give you an update on what I'm trying to create and to build. So last week was all travel. So I spent the whole week in New York City and in Toronto. In New York City, it was learning and training and meeting kind of the global leaders of the organization that I'm a part of. And then in Toronto is really to come alongside a pretty large church out there that are navigating a season of change and getting excited and ready for the 40th anniversary. So that was my week. And during that week, there was a lot of thinking and processing and learning. And I just thought that I'd share a little bit of that with you. With the New York trip, it's really what's focused around creating networks of networks, or I like to call them movements, but I guess some people, movement, the word has been overused maybe. But I really believe that there's three ways an organization or a church could be looked at. One is an organism, right, which is the people, the body of Christ. But there's also an organization, right, which is kind of the recognized entity, right? So in the U.S., you need a church status, and then a movement. It's kind of the movement of the kingdom, the people that are part of it. And so it's not an either or. It's actually most organizations and most churches are actually part is every one of them, right? They're an organism, there's an organization, and they're also a movement. And so our best way to kind of capture all of that is this idea of the ecosystem. And between these movements are what they call ecotones, where there's a bit of tension because they may not be completely in alignment or agreement, but that's where a lot of the creativity and the innovation occurs when they're willing to work together. So that's one of the things I was just really thinking a lot about. And so for me, as I reflect back on all the years that I got to be a part of an organization and movements and things like that, is that I learned that I've been kind of developing my abilities. So, initially I learned how to like kind of be a creator, like a artist, and be able to bring things to life on my own. And then I learned how to do that as a team and build a volunteer base and a team to help us to execute on bringing ideas to life. And then moved into more of an organization, like one organization or one church, and started to bring leadership around there to help us to kind of navigate all the things that we want to do as a church. So it's kind of stepped into that kind of the organizational leadership. And then in the last 6 years, I've been working in like helping multiple organizations, multiple churches. And so really thinking and working in the network idea or collective idea. But now in this new season, I am actually stepping into really bringing leadership and maybe even help kind of build the infrastructure to help catalyze and fuel movements. And so it's been really fun for me. I think that's where I naturally love to be at, of thinking kind of the systemic things that needs to be kind of re-looked at and reimagined and redesigned. And so for me, it's been really energizing week for me to kind of unlock the imagination and the creativity to really think, all right, for this next season, as we start to create movements, or actually kind of foster and cultivate environments where movements can happen. What is my role and what are the roles of the others that I want to bring along? And so that's kind of the big thinking that I've been doing. Another book that I've been reading is called Impact Network. I think I have it here. Oh, I don't. But a book called Impact Network. And so that's been also giving me a little bit of language to kind of think through what it looks like to be part of a movement. The other thing is the end of the week was really focused on helping a large organization that's pretty complex to figure out how to bring some alignment and clarity towards the vision and the mission and also the purpose of the organization. And so that had to do a lot with helping people to kind of be okay of separating the leadership team and the management team with two separate kind of roles that serve as tension points, right? So these are the healthy tensions. Where the leadership team is focused on what's next, what's new, how do we continue to make progress and advance the mission, while we have the management team, which is equally as important. It's not one or the other, but you need both. that's going to make sure that operationally and the foundation and the sustainability of the work is going to remain. And so, so management, leadership, operational, and then the church context, there's also a different type of leadership called pastoral leadership, right? And so that's also needs to be incorporated and looked at and kind of create almost like a triangle of leaders or triangle of teams where one is focusing on the pastoral leadership, right? Making sure that they're aligned to what they feel God is calling them to be as an organization and as a church. Then you also have the leadership team, right? So this is actually helping to move the ball forward and helping to create change and communicating and helping, kind of create some clarity on where we're headed. And then the management team that's going to help be the engine to help the whole group move forward. So it's really important, right? But the thing is, most organizations, all they do is lean on leadership teams, but most of the people that comprise of the leadership team may be actually management folks, right? So you could tell in those leadership teams that they are more wired towards to be a management team, because they're always asking, how are we going to do it? How is it going to be paid for? No, we can't. We've done that before. They tend to be kind of like maybe no or not yet folks, right? Or give me more information. They're the one that has tons of questions, right? And so there's going to be a healthy tension, because you do need to continue to pioneer and break new ground, because change is not only a constant anymore, it's an accelerant. Change is accelerating at a rapid pace. And so if an organization cannot learn to be agile, it's going to be left behind. All right, so those are some of the things that I'm thinking, and I just want to end this kind of video with kind of sharing with you, the email that I sent out to some of y'all, and it's an invitation to be part of what we call the constellation. So this is an idea that I learned from a book called The Power of Giving Away Power. A friend of mine, Melinda, has recommended that to me, and I adopted that kind of idea of the constellation. And so what I did was I sent an email and an invite to those who I think are creators, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders, nonprofit kind of executive directors, those who are actually really wanting to create a better world, a better future. For me, I like to say a beautiful future, to invite them to be a part of more of a movement than an organization or a community. I think I'm a little tired of trying to build community. It's important to build community, because sometimes that continues to become very bounded set, as they say, where you're either in or you're out. But what I'm looking for is to be part of something that releases and unleashes all the capacity and the capabilities and the creativity of a group of people that want to create a better future. So that's the constellation. If you didn't receive the email, you could obviously send me a note, put it on the comment, send me a DM. You can email me at sam@thebeautifulfuture.com, or you could go to thebeautifulfuture.com/movement to find out a little bit more. And so just like the other videos, I'm going to end this video with this call to action, with this invitation for you to be part of answering the call to create the beautiful future by learning to live and lead the beautiful life today. And hopefully you'll do that with us. All right, see you next week. Bye.